Next is string methods. So when you define a string, how to make operations on the data inside the string. When I say operation, it means like how to find number of characters, okay, how to combine two strings together, how to change all the letters to uppercase, lowercase. These are data manipulations on the string. To do this, we need what's called a method. So what is a method? Now a method is like a certain code collected in a box. That box has input. So if this is the box we have, so inside we are going to call it method. It has input, maybe one, maybe none, and maybe more, and it has a return value. Okay, so a method is just simply a way to communicate with the strings to do a certain operation. Some of the methods, okay, have one input, some of them have two inputs, and some of them do not have any input. And most of the methods for a string, they return value. Now, how to use them? Now, when you define a string, for example, if you say string S1 is equal to hello. Now, if you want to, let's say as an example, if I want to know how many characters inside the string S1, then you cannot count them by yourself unless you know it as a constant. Now here you can count the letters by yourself. But what if you are reading this string from the user? So you don't know how many letters the user is entering. So you need a method to tell you how many characters inside the string. Now how to find the number of characters inside the string? First of all, you bring the name of the string, S1, you write dot, and then here you write the method for finding number of characters. And there is a table that gives you all methods that you can use, or all methods available on strings. This method is called length. So if you write S1 dot length with empty parameters, so here we have the input, and notice now it does not have any input. So this is the method. So you look at the method as a box, it has input and gives you an answer. So this box is called length. And what is the input to this length? Is nothing. And what does it give you? It gives you the length as an integer. Now this length, what you want to do with it? Do you want to print it? Do you want to save it in an integer? So as an example, probably you write integer size is equal to S1 dot length. So this is how to use methods. If you know the name of the methods and you know that what is the input for this method and what does it return, then you can use it by bringing the name of the string. You write dot and you put the name of the length. This is one thing about methods. Another thing, there are some methods that you need to know which character it is dealing with inside the string. So when you define a string like the one on top, S1 is equal to hello, in the memory you can visualize the string hello into the memory as a table. So you can visualize the string inside as a table, and this table consists of 5 characters, HELLO, 5 characters. So they are divided into 5 characters. This is one character. This is another character. So here you have H. Okay, sorry. Undo. So here you have H, here you have E, here you have L, and here you have L, and you have O. This is how you visualize the data inside the memory for a string. So the name of this string is S1. Now the question is how to locate each character inside the string. شلون نحدد مكان كل character في داخل الstring. Each letter inside is given a number for the place of this character inside the string. The numbers start from 0. So the first character will be at location 0, next will be location 1, next will be location 2, next will be 3, and next will be 4. These numbers, each of them is called an index. So all of them are called indices. So when you define a string and you put value, you put a string inside it, you put data inside it, then imagine that the first letter is at location 0, next one is at location 1. So if you write a string S2 is equal to university, then you can imagine that U is at index 0, N is at index 1, I at index 2, and etc. So what will be the last index? Since we are starting from 0, then you need to count how many letters do we have inside. So you need to count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the last index is 9. Or you can find this number by writing S1 dot length. So it will give you the length, which is the number of characters inside, minus 1. This will give you the last index. So we don't have, if this is, we have 5 letters, so we don't have any letter saved at 5. So we don't have index 5, although the size is 5, but we don't have index 5. So this is the beginning. What is a method? A method is used inside a string to manipulate the data. You can look at the method as a box. So this is the name of the method, and here is the input for the method, and here we have the return value. So I will give you a table for the methods available for a string. We will see what is the name, we will see whether it needs input or not, and what is the return value we will get from this method. So a method that works on the data will give you an answer. Okay, so it looks like you need help from someone. So suppose that you don't know how to find the number of characters inside the string. So you need a person to do this for you. So that one, you don't need to give it anything. All what you ask, can you please tell me how many letters we have inside the string, and it will give you the answer. So what are these methods available for a string? Maybe we could go over the definition. It says the methods provided by the class string can be used to manipulate this data. Most of the string methods retain some value. So when you use them, when you call them, they will give you an answer. They will give you something in return. So the syntax, you need the name of the variable, you put dot, and you put the method name, and it depends if you have any input argument. So here I need to call it input, or we call it argument. Input or argument. So this is the syntax. So here we have an example. You are defining a string coffee, which has the word cappuccino, and then you are using the name of the string dot length, and there is no input. So length, I already explained it. It gives you the size of the string, and the size will be saved into count. So method, you give it input, or maybe there is no input, it will do data manipulation on the string and will give you an answer. So the answer we will get from length is an integer, which is the size of the string, and it will be saved into count. Now when you use dot length, so maybe I should mention this before I proceed. So when you write S1 dot length, here we are saying that calling the method length. Okay, so if you want to call a method, you put dot. So calling, it means you ask for help from this method to do something for you. This is how you can look at the string when you define them into the memory. So if you define, for example, a string called the phrase, and inside it you have Java is fun. So you can imagine that it is saved inside a table inside. J, it will be at index 0, A will be at index 1, and C, the length. So this message consists of 12 characters. So the last index will be 11. Here is an example. We have a message. It says Murad was born in 1990. And here it says print the name, and see, we are using the name of the variable message and we are using dot. So that means what comes after dot is a method. So now this is a new method. Now this method is called substring. So we have a method called length, which we have explained, which we have here, covered it here, and length gives you the size of the string. And here we have another string which is called substring. Let me explain what does it mean by substring and what are these numbers, okay, inside substring. Substring, sub it means, sub means part of. So when you say substring, it means part of a string. So this is the operation that this method is doing. It is giving you part of a string. So how it works? When you define a string, let's say string name equal Ali, Hassan, Muhammad. Okay, I don't have a space, so I will go a little bit to the left. Okay, and we close the quotation. So this is our message. Remember that this character is at index 0, this is at index 1, this is at index 2, and it continues. Also the space is counting. This is at index 3. Now, as you remember that for every method, you can visualize it as a box. It has input and it gives you an answer. So when you call it, when you use it on a string, it will give you an answer. So if you go back to our example here, now if I write name, dot substring between bracket. Now I want to take part of, so substring it means part of. Suppose I would like to take part of this string and I would like to take only the word Hassan. So you need to know first where is the beginning of the word Hassan. What is the first index for this word? If you keep counting, so this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So Hassan starts at 4. So you put here 4. And then you need to specify, so it looks like you are cutting here or you are taking part of a string. Now where is the end of the word Hassan? If H at index 4, then A will be 5. Okay, so 5. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if you write 8, so this is how substring works. If you write substring from 4 to 8, it will not give you the word from 4 to 8. It will give you the word from 4 to 7. So 8 is not counted. So if you write substring 4, 8, it will give you Hassa without N. But if you want to include N, then you have to erase this and then you have to write 9 instead. So this will give you the word Hassan. So when you write name, which is the name of the variable, you write dot and you write substring, this will give you part of a string. So as I said that for every method there is a return value. So what is the return value we are going to get from substring? The return value we are going to get from substring is a new string which is called Hassan. Now the word Ali, Hassan, Muhammad is untouched. You are taking part of it, but you are not deleting Hassan from the string. So still name will have Ali, Hassan, Muhammad. So this is a new string. It depends on what you want to do with it. Do you want to save it into a variable? Do you want to print it? Do you want to combine it with another variable? What I'm going to do now, I'm going to print it. So you can write here between the brackets, you can write a print len, and of course here you have out, and then it continues. Because substring is returning a value, it is giving you an answer. This answer will be given to println and println will print it. Or maybe you want to save it. So if you want to save it, you want to save it into another string. So here you need to define a variable. Maybe you call it S, and here you write name dot substring. Now suppose I would like to take Ali only. So Ali, so it starts from 0. So Ali we have here, see, 0, 1. Here we have 0, 1, 2. And since I want 2 to be included, so the last number here should be equal to 4. So this will give you Ali, and it will be saved into S. So you will have two strings. You will have the original string, which is name, and you will have a new string which is called S and has Ali inside it. Just a note here, note, no method on strings changes the data. So put this one, changes the data. So put this one in your mind. So you are taking part of a string, but you are not changing the string, the original string. The original string will stay as it is. However, substring will give you a new string. Then what you have to do with this new string, maybe you print it and then it will disappear because it will not be saved. Or you can save it, maybe you want to use it later. So this note, it says that no method on strings changes the data. So all methods will give you a new data or a new string. There is another substring. So for this substring, you have to provide two input. See, you have to provide two input. Another string, a substring we have, which is a method, you don't need to specify both of them. Just to specify the beginning, and it will give you from that, it will give you a substring from that beginning until the end. So if I write, for example, string, and I will write here, maybe I can call it different than S. So I will call it H. And if I say name dot, now if I know where is, let's say Muhammad. Okay, let's say I will give number 4 here. So name substring, I will give only 4. Okay, so I'm not given two numbers, I'm given only one number. If you give two numbers, it means start and end. But you are given one number, so here it's going to give you a string starting from 4. Starting from 4. So where is 4? If you come here, where is 4? A is 0, L is 1, I is 2, and the space is 3, and H is 4. So it will give you the substring from H until the end, because you did not specify an end. So the answer here will be Hassan Muhammad. Okay, Hassan Muhammad. So now you have learned 3 methods. One is length. The other one is, 2 methods. One is length. The second one is substring, and substring has 2 versions. So this is the definition for substring. It is simply a portion of a string, part of a string. For example, the string defined by Java is fun. Fun is a substring, which is part of it. So here you have a message. Murad was born in 1990. Now when you write message.substring from 0 to 5. So where is 0? 0 is M. And where is 5? Notice now 5 is not included. So you have to go from 0 to 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it will give you the substring here. It will give you Murad. This is what we will get as a substring. This word Murad will be combined with name. So the output will be name Murad. Now for the second one, you are just specifying the beginning. So when you say Murad was born, so you have to count from the beginning, which is M is 0. So you count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 is here. So this substring will give you part of the string starting from 18. And starting from 18 is 1. Until the end, so you will have 1990. This is the string we are getting from this substring. So what will be the output? The output will be year 1990. This is a table of all the methods that you need to learn, okay, for this course. Now the table consists of 4 columns. If I go back to my notes, remember that for any method we need a name, we need to know how many input parameters and what does it return, what is it going to give me. So let's go over the ones that we have covered, okay, which was length. Now see length, this is the name of the method. What does it return? It returns an integer, which is the size. Remember, length just gives you the size. And here you have an example on how to use it. And now since we have empty brackets, so this method does not need input. You just put empty round the brackets. Here is a description on explaining what does this method do. It returns the length of this string. So if you use dot length, it gives you the string. Also, we covered substring. So here is substring. So notice the first substring, it needs 1 input, which is start. The other substring, it needs 2 inputs, start and end. And if you read the description, it says that end is not included. So what does it return? It returns another string. Remember that no method changes the original data of the string. So it will return a new string. Depends on what you want to do. Maybe you want to save it like this example, or maybe you want to print it. So if I have as an example s equal Java, so j is at index 0. So substring 1,3. So it will give you the first and second letters. So it will give you JA. Okay. So sorry, 0 starts from 0. So it will give you so 0J is not included. But A is included and V is included because it starts at index 1. And notice 3 is not included. Now if you write substring 2, so it will give you the substring starting from 2. So 0, 1, 2, so starts from V, so it will give you VA. Let us go over the other methods. Here we have char at. So what does char at do? Okay, char at, it returns the character at index in the string. So how many input does it need? See, here we have between brackets, we have index. So it needs 1 input. And what does it return? It returns a character. So it's going to give you a character. You give it index, allocation, it will give you a character. Let me show you an example on how it works. If you have a string, S is equal to university. Now, if you write S dot char, see char is all small letter, and at a capital letter, T small letter. If you write 4, now this 4 represents an index. See, the input is an index. So if you go to the description, see what does it say here? It says index. So you need to give the index as an input. So what this method is going to return? It's going to return a character. So what is this character? It will give you the character at index 4. So where is index 4? If this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, this is a 3, and now this is 4. So what is the character at index 4? It is going to be the letter E. Now again, this character, char at method, it is returning a character. What you want to do with this character? Do you want to save it or do you want to print it? So you have to do something about the return value. So if you want to save it, so define a variable char, call it ch, and save the result into ch. So ch will hold the letter E. So char at simply gives you the character at the specified index. So if you say char at 0, it will give you U. If you say char at 1, it will give you N, and etc. But what happens if index is out of range. When we say out of range, it means the index does not exist. For example, if you say char ch equal s dot char at, let's say 20. Now this index does not exist. So what is the answer? Okay, so the answer, you will get runtime error. Okay, so for char at, you give it an index, it will give you the character at that index, and if you give an index outside the range, it will stop your program and you will have syntax error. Next is compare to. Equals ignores will be postponed for chapter 3. So it's not cancelled. So we will just postpone this one and these three. This is for chapter 3. Okay, so chapter 3 and chapter 3. So we will skip them now. So what we are going to do now is go to JGrasp and try to explain the rest of these methods in action. It is better than you see how they work rather than, explaining them theoretically. So let us create a new project, okay, and we will call it March-22. So we'll create a folder and then we will create a new file, okay. It says here you need to add a new file, so add, let's just ignore. So we will make a new file and we need to write the lines for defining the class and main method. Copy it from this program and paste it in our new program, enlarge it, close class and close main method. Inside I'm going to go define string s1 equal Java is fun to program, double quotation, and if you remember that J is at index 0, A is at index 1, and V at index 2, and etc. Which method we are going to cover next? Our next method is concat, okay? So as you notice, this is the name of the method and the input is a string. So it has one input, which is another string. Concat stands for concatenation. We already know how to combine two strings together by using a plus. So there is a method that can do the same. It can combine two strings together. So what is the return value we will get from here? You will get another string. So the original string will not change. So you will combine two strings together and a new string will be given to you. As an example, if you have a string s equal Java, this is what is an s. Now when you write s dot concat and you are given another string as input, see you have another string. So in s we have Java and we are given input rux. So what the concat will do, it will take the string inside s, which is Java, will combine it, make it next to rocks. So the answer that we will retain as a string is Java rocks, and where it will be saved, because I'm using equal, it will be saved into N2. So it retains a new string with this string concatenated with. You can use the plus operator instead. Let me show you how to use this one on Java. So if I want to, let's say if I write s1 dot concat and put inside Java is fun to program for web, okay, I put a message for web applications. So here what you are doing, you are calling the method concat that will combine what is inside from left. You combine s1 with the method for web application. Here we don't have a space at the end of the s1, and here we don't have a space. So if you concat, you will you will leave no space between a program and for. So I'm going to leave a space here so that when we combine the two strings, there will be no, they will not be attached next to each other. Now this method will return a string. So what you want to do with this string? Do you want just to print it or do you want to save it? If you want to save it, just write a string and save it into another variable called s2 and then print, okay, and here you have to put semicolon and then print s2, so system.out.println and you put s2. And when you run the program, what you will get, okay, or we need to save it. So we need to save the program and it is given the same name and we're going to put it for today's project and now run it. So see the output, Java is fun to program for web applications. So it is saved into S2 and printed. Sometimes this new string, you don't want to save it. You just want to print it on the screen. So there is no need to save it. You just simply, I will cut it Control X and I will write it inside S2, Control V, and then I will delete this definition. So S1.concat will give me a new string by combining Java is fun to program and will combine it with for web application, and the new string will be given to print and printed. So run it. And here we go, and it is printed. So the rest of the methods which are indicated in this table will be covered inshallah next lecture.